What is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video, so y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. Now, this is the first video I am recording since YouTube deleted my most recent video that I tried to post, right? Just want to say, I appreciate all the love, man. Even all the comments y'all were showing under that video. Everybody is on game. Y'all already know, that topic was deep. We know it's the truth, and it is what it is. Like I said, I tried to get it on a platform so everybody could see it, which is why I showed y'all the screenshot, full disclosure. This was not like a bait video to try to get people to the Patreon. No, like they deleted that video for real. The video has to live somewhere, and for those that didn't get a chance to see it, you are welcome to subscribe to my Patreon. You do not have to, but if you do want to see it, if you want to support, it is there to be watched. All right, so look, I had to jump on my next topic quicker than I wanted to, obviously, because I couldn't give y'all a new video, but I've had this video in mind for a while, right? And I saw a video on a smaller channel here on YouTube, so I really want to shout out this channel, right? I'm gonna put his page up on the screen because I don't want to mispronounce the name of his page. So, I'm going to show y'all, and I'll leave a link to his video in the description, right? So this video is mostly going to be about PORN, pornography, right? And spirits in film, spirits in the things that you watch, especially it having to do with pornography. Now, y'all remember at the end of one of my videos recently, couple videos back, I was talking about how, which we talk about a lot on this channel, how a lot of these people in positions of power, a lot of people call them reptilians, shapeshifters, all kind of names. I'll just simply say a lot of these people aren't human. Y'all heard me talk about this, right? They look like us, they bleed like us, but they don't have a soul like me and you do. I was sent this guy's video, right? And when I sat and listened to him talk about it, he explained it in a way that was very similar to what we talk about on this channel. But I really like the way that he presented his video. And it's one of those videos that, like, if you have a problem watching PORN, if you have a problem watching pornography, this will really enlighten you, and this should really shed away some of those spirits, some of those demonic spirits that are keeping you watching that stuff, right? So for me, this is one of those topics that I feel is a must we talk about. It almost reaches a point of addiction. A lot of people are addicted to watching pornography. A lot of people don't understand what it actually does to their minds, what it actually does to their life, the spirits that you are welcoming into your life, the way that it changes how you think about women, the way that it changes how women think about men. It can have an effect on your everyday well-being a lot more than you can imagine. So look, without me saying too much more, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all listen to the clip where he really goes into very good detail about this topic, and then we're going to come back and talk about it a little bit more. Check this out.
Is I became a better son to my father, and we had a better relationship, and we could spend more time talking. I don't think it's a coincidence that at the time I'm free from the addiction, that's the time when the relationship is restored. Because pornography has a way of also stealing your ability to love others, other people but yourself. Because that incubus and succubus spirit looks to satisfy itself. And so no matter who you marry, how pretty she is, there's always a prettier person. You can't decide the right video to watch. And that's why even till now, you can never get a confirmation on which wife you want. It's not that they're both great people or that they're both bad people and you're trying to see which one's better out of the two, out of the 4 out of the 5. It's because there's an indecisiveness from the video you'd select, which is also giving you an indecisiveness when it comes to preference in marriage. I'm being very honest here. I'm not in the four walls of a church. I have to be as clear as possible because there's a generation that will be taken away by addiction. When you're watching pornography, understand that your pleasure is someone else's misery. That woman you're watching, that brother you're watching, was thrown out of their father's house. They were rejected. Some of those porn stars that you see, they're actually not having an orgasm, they're fainting. They're being raped. It's been reported numerous times on camera. It happens to them. And that's what you're coming to do with what are supposed to be clean hands. You play the keyboard, and then you go on to watch someone being raped and suffocated, and there's pleasure. I'm not trying to place disgust or condemnation upon you when I'm saying this. I'm trying to make you see how horrible it is so that you can abstain from this. This is not a message on condemnation. It's going to increase your reverence for the things of God so you understand that even though you can pray for forgiveness and our Father is so amazing, so loving, He forgives you, value the relationship more. Otherwise, just like Jerusalem became a whore at some point and committed whoredom, there's a parable, actually, of the two twins, and they'll reference it below, of Aholah and Aholibah. And these were the two cities that betrayed the Lord, and how these twins were so caught up in their own affairs. They were two sisters, a younger sister and an older sister. And the Bible even tells about how, because they went away with their lovers and then they came back, the Lord says, just like you were alienated from me, I am now alienated from you. Even though, yes, you'll make it to heaven because God loves you and you're saved, there are so many benefits and a substantial part of calling that will not be fulfilled because you haven't found yourself in the place of purity, holiness, and hear this, uprightness. Now listen, you start to watch these episodes or these videos on pornography. It's been reported that what happens is some of those people that you're watching and you're fantasizing over, the directors in those programs, in those porn clips, before they make the videos, they'll meet even before the actress is aware that they're filming that day. Before they come on set, they meet early in the morning. And then they start to do ritual practices and incantations because they're praying to deities and evil spirits that the videos will reach far and wide and that they may gain more fame, money, and power. So they carry out rituals. Then when they carry out those rituals on those programs, on those tapes before the tapes are released, even after they've edited the tape and published it for the world to see and for them to take a generation captive, they then go on to make further incantations and chants. That's how they consummate the video that they've put together. That's how they consummate the video. There are some porn stars who have been open in saying that they're witches. They practice it openly. Openly. They've declared it that they do witchcraft and they practice it. And one of the biggest deceptions that some of our believers who are naive, they will never acknowledge, and they don't believe this, is that some of those porn stars that you're watching, I tell you this is a spiritual person, they're not porn stars. They're not humans. They're Marines. No, they weren't generated by AI. They weren't generated by AI. They're a being, but a celestial one. Footballers you meet in the streets, rappers you meet in the streets, artists you meet in the streets, that woman will never be seen anywhere by anyone except from that screen and the directors that were present. For what purpose would a Marine be the actor on porn? They're all humans. How many of you verified to be human? And then what happens is you watch that video. Then after you watch that video and you ejaculate, the incubus spirit, it requires semen. So that semen was a sacrificial lamb you gave to that marine goddess that was on the screen. And then suddenly, 3 years down the line, you have to go to the hospital, they tell you that your soldiers are low. Or to that sister who was so engulfed by her sexual fantasy, she continually masturbated on those websites. 4 years down the line, she's barren. Why am I barren? Because you already gave us your womb. That wasn't just a man that you were watching. He was a warlock. He belongs to another kingdom. He's not just an artist who's being paid. And you start to wonder, some of those sexual expressions they have, how they've and they use expressions like wet, 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 wet. And you just assume that wet, wet, wet is because of what's happening to them there. No. They know more than you know because they know where they live.
Now, look, y'all. Very powerful. Very powerful. The ending, very powerful, y'all. You know, if you've never heard it put that way, a lot of us know what porn does to our mind. A lot of us, we understand it. But I don't think a lot of us understand it spiritually, right? Now, first thing you think about ending off that clip is that, you know, he was saying a woman wonders sometimes, why can't I produce? Why can't I have children? In certain cases of a lot of these women who masturbate constantly, who watch a lot of pornography, who are giving in to these incubus and succubus spirits, or that incubus spirit, that male demon spirit, don't understand that you've already spiritually given up your womb. I thought it was nothing short of amazing when he said that, because it made so much sense. Even for a man, he said, you wonder why you go to the doctor and your soldiers are low. You know, you can't have a child. You can't pregnate a woman. And you were that man who constantly masturbated, who constantly gave up your semen to that succubus spirit, who then gives the semen to the incubus spirit. And they use it to impregnate other women. Or you constantly sleep with different women, different women, different women, different spirits. And you wonder why you can't have kids. Or guess what, men? You wonder why you eventually end up having testicle problems. You wonder why you got a sharp pain in your testicles. You wonder why that vein that produces the semen is inflamed, it's swollen, it hurts, it's not going away. Because you've given yourself to those spirits. And sometimes, a lot of the times, that comes with consequences, right? Just like anything else. When you knew you were supposed to stop something, You knew you were supposed to let it go, and you didn't. So eventually, you're going to pay with something. Sometimes you're going to pay with pain, physical pain, spiritual pain, mental pain. Not to mention that, watching it so much, they already have like proven studies that, which we finna read this article. I got a really good article that it backs up everything he just talked about. Even the porn stars being involved in witchcraft, the producers doing spells and, casting spells over the videos before they put them out, just like they would do albums, just like they do music. Anything that you can log into your phone and access as easy as you can porn, it all has rituals and spells done on it, so it can continue, to reach millions of people. It's like the devil's most, I would say, creative tool in order to keep people in bondage. But what I was saying is that they even have like studies that prove when you continuously watch pornography, when you continuously, in a sense, like, you're breaking down pieces of your soul. You're breaking your own soul down. You no longer have control over your soul, your thoughts, your mind. You're in bondage to porn. You're in bondage to those spirits. And eventually you gain the mindset of a rapist. You gain the mindset of a murderer. You gain the mindset that is like the lowest form of yourself, to now where you become an animal. Become fully, instinctive, like not in a good way. You just do everything. Everything is off instincts. You become an animal. And it's proven. And that is why we have people the way we have them now, as far as all of this trafficking and, the little ones being sacrificed and, what, sexually, what, rapist, all of that. This is what leads to it, no matter what you think. There are interviews of serial rapists, of, men who mess with little ones, and they tell you that it started with watching pornography. As much as you wouldn't want to believe it, a lot of these people get those demons, they get those spirits from what they participated in just by watching an adult film. And you wonder why the adult entertainment industry makes more money than music and sports combined. But look, I got a really, really, really good article we got to read. We have to read this article. We're going to go ahead and jump over to that real quick. All right, look, check this out, y'all. A lot of y'all going to be surprised with how much this lines up to what he was talking about and a lot of others have touched on when it has to do with porn, right? So check this out. This is a very long article, but we're not going to read the whole thing. We're going to get to the important parts. The porn industry, like all other industries, have very high intellectual occult leaders, from CEOs to managers, executives, producers, directors, etc., who know exactly, to some extent, what they are doing as regards to witchcraft. However, it is on a need-to-know basis, meaning that sometimes the actors, porn stars, musicians are not aware of the occult symbolism and props around them, even to the extent that when they participate in a ritual, it is often passed off by producers as tradition, and thus the actors, businessmen, musicians, etc., stay unaware of what is being done around them, and even to them, they never question, because frankly, the result of this tradition only leads to more fame, power, and money. So it says, the fascinating industry, according to the Adams Media Research, Forrester Research, Varonis Solar Communications Industry Report, IVD reported in the New York Times 1998 that porn makes up to 10 to 14 billions annually without fail. And now new reports in 2010 have accumulated to 40 billion. Yet how can this be when the majority addicted to porn obtain it free from free website downloads, torrents, free streaming websites, capture video programs, making copies, and distributing? One would think the porn industry by now in 2011, I'm assuming this is very old, but I think it was updated recently, right? One would think The porn industry by now in 2011 would be completely bankrupt and broke, as they have no space in commercial advertising simply because of the graphical content. Yet bankruptcy has never been the case with the porn industry, especially with the AVN Ritual Awards ceremony being able to take place once a year, every year. The porn industry is under their control, meaning the government, and it's also meaning that the porn industry is heavily funded by many private investors. One would be the music industry. Hip-hop moguls have been found to have big investments in porn shops, scouting talent, and even pimping. Rappers who have publicly admitted to their investments in porn are Snoop Dogg, Lil Jon, and Young Money artist Tiger, and I'm pretty sure a lot more. Politicians have even been caught recruiting prostitutes and financing a string of porn shops such as Rick Perry. The list goes on, and it's wise, blah, 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 that you do your own research. It is simply because the powers that be know all about the psychology of humans and prey on men and their survivalist instincts inbound with DNA, desire now turn lust for sexual interaction with women. Not only this, but sex is a form of worship in the occult. This type of addictive violent practice can be traced back to when the angels desperately found a way to gain physical bodies in order to have sex with the daughters of men. And we all know how important, sex magic is in the occult. That goes back to the video that we just did on Aleister Crowley, who basically taught people that, were witches, warlocks, and so on. He wrote the foundation for it, in a sense, innocent. But obviously he's been one of the most influential. Now it says, as mentioned before, it is clear that unless you are in the business, the public will never be aware of the occult within porn. All actors at initiated levels are sworn to secrecy in a form of a confidentiality contract, and if in an occult group, risk more than a lawsuit but the penalty of death, probably through AIDS as irony. However, with the public information available to us, majority from whistleblowers, we are able to put the pieces together that allow us to understand what is going on to a degree. And this is where the article also mentions Aleister Crowley as a practicing witch. Sex magic is highly recommended, and he gives the steps and instructions covertly hidden in his text for occultists to perform. This is where it gets really interesting about the incubus and succubus spirits, right? So it says the porn industry is well aware and use the demonic side to infiltrate porn. Whether the actors are aware or not, many orgy scenes are in fact rituals. But you will never see when the actors and directors meet at 6 a.m. in the morning, drink their potions, cast their spells before they start recording for the public. Usually these spells are done before the actors come on set. It is all dependent on your position in the fraternity. Be aware that the whole ritual event is recorded, but you will never see those clips in the bonus scenes on the DVDs, especially those orgy scenes where these spirits are able to collect a lot of semen. A lot of these different spirits are going into that woman, going in and out of these people, the men as well. It even makes me think about that porn star that just went viral for talking about like having sex with 100 men or something in 24 hours or trying to break the world record. That is insane, y'all. It's insane. But check this out. These rituals will give the actors and directors more power, more fame, more money, and more influence on who they desire, all in the name of whatever devil deity they pray to. Many actors see no harm in this. However, certain rituals put the participants in a vulnerable state that allows demonic influence and, in the worst case, possession. Be aware that true occultists, it is considered as an honor to worship Satan. Thus, you must first worship his devils and progress through the ranks before you get anywhere close to Satan. However, this is most likely entrapment, as you become a bondage slave to lesser demons and even people who are usually men. In porn, the producers and film editors who edit the final film for the public cast spells into these final cuts. These spells are to cast demons into the video itself, and then demons will have different purposes. Evidence of this comes from exposed accounts of musicians and their masters casting demons into the master CD. Usually, it is done by the mega distributors, and yet again, the musician has no clue what is being done to their music. But nowadays, this is rare. As we all know, all musicians reaching a certain stage in their career must be involved in the witchcraft society. Now, the thing about that is it's the same as music. When these demons are cast into the music, when they're cast into these adult film videos, they want the spirits to follow the video. That is why they are cast into music. Like I said, it goes back to the devil's most creative way of getting us in bondage. Anything we can access on our phone by the millions, which there are millions of videos of adult entertainment. There are millions of songs. Guess what? There are so many different spirits that are following that music. Remember, anything like when you are always repeating a song, when it gets stuck in your head, when you're stuck watching the same type of adult film videos, those are the spirits that are following those videos, that music, and it is forcing you, it is manipulating you to keep listening, keep repeating, keep watching, keep doing the same thing. It now has a pull on your soul, and it is pulling you to it, and that is just how simple it is. Now, this gets on to the last part of the clip where he was talking about semen and the spirits, right? So, says, according to a book that was called Witch's Hammer, written by Heinrich Kramer in 1486, a succubus collects semen from the men she seduces. The incubus, or male demons, then use the semen to impregnate human females, thus explaining how demons could apparently sire little ones despite the traditional belief that they were incapable of reproduction. And this goes to your dreams as well. Says, a succubus is a female demon who appears in dreams, who takes the form of a human woman in order to seduce men, usually through sexual intercourse. The male counterpart is the incubus. Religious traditions hold that repeated intercourse with a succubus may result in a deterioration of health or even death. That's the crazy part, y'all. And we all know, especially men, even women too, you've had intercourse at one point in your life in your dreams. And we've talked about this on the channel a couple times, because a lot of the times that spirit takes form of a human in your dream, but a lot of times you don't actually see the face. Y'all remember us talking about that? A lot of times you don't see the face because it doesn't have a face. Sometimes you'll see the face. Sometimes they will take full form of someone you know, someone you don't know. But a lot of times they don't have a face. They're sexing you in the dream. Not, at your will either. This is them showing, this is real. This stuff is real. And a lot of it, when you giving your life force to these spirits, these demons, when you're constantly masturbating and, you're giving that semen, you're giving your life force. It's energy harvest at the end of the day. You're making them more powerful in your life. You're giving them more power. They laughing, They getting out of you what they want and what they need to continue to survive, basically. You're giving them human life force. That's what they want. Human life force. And unfortunately, semen and, I guess you could say blood as well is the quickest way that they get it. Especially semen. A lot more people are giving out, a lot more men are giving out semen. A lot of women are allowing these spirits to enter them through men by having so much sex, more than you are bleeding and giving life force that way. That's why the adult entertainment industry is as big as it is. It's the easiest thing to do. You're going to go have sex before you bleed by whatever way you bleed. As simple as that, y'all. So yeah, man, I think we'll go ahead and cut the video here, y'all. This is a very, very deep topic. Please let me know what y'all think about this video. Hopefully nothing happens to this video. I don't think it will, as this is a pretty clean topic that a lot of people have talked about. Yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Any more videos y'all want to see on the channel, please let me know. Appreciate everybody who subbed to my Patreon and wanted to watch the video. That's real love from y'all. And man, I couldn't do any of this without y'all. So with that being said, man, it's Black Balloon, and I'm gonna see y'all soon. I'm out.